Well, praise God and welcome to Lead on the Light. Today we are going to be looking at Matthew chapters 15 and 16. Okay, in the New Testament. I want you guys to know it's 16 and 17, forgive me. Okay, get ready. See how many verses there are. There's 28 verses there, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I would kind of like to go to the part to where Jesus is teaching a lesson and Peter is confessing. That's the best part. Beginning of verse 15. When Jesus came unto the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Okay, that's verse 13, actually. Okay, verse 14. And they said, Some say that thou art John the Baptist, and some say Elias, which is in Hebrew for Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Okay, I want you to think about this. Verses 16 through 19 is going to be our biggest meat here. Verse 17, this is based on Peter's confession. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon, Bar-Jonas, which means son of Jonas. For flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Now, Peter is actually, the Greek of that is Petra. And in Hebrew, it's Kepha. It means the same thing as in stone, okay? But Christ is the stone of Israel. What it is, it's upon the rock of revelation that Peter's confessing of Christ. I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt be loosed on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Now, we're going to stop here for a while. I want you to think about this. The keys. There's two things in our priesthood. Priesthood authority and priesthood keys. Christ was giving Peter and his apostles keys of that priesthood. Even then, of course, they couldn't exercise them until after he had risen from the dead and was glorified, of course. Now, that's a lot to think about. Okay, verse 17. Okay, we're at the transfiguration of Jesus. And, we're only going to cover a few verses here. Because tomorrow we're going to be covering chapter 18 exclusively. Verse 1. And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John. He takes Peter because he's the chief apostle. But Peter, James, and John are the ones that are going to hold the keys of the Melchizedek priesthood. So that's why he's taken up in this mansion with him. And was transfigured before them. I want you to think about that. He had to go through this transfiguration. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias, talking with him. Then answered, verse 4. This is just perfect impulsive Peter here saying, Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make three tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. And of course, the voice from heaven, God, the eternal Father, is like telling Peter, hey, cool your jets, there's only one tabernacle, and that's my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And isn't it something how President Nelson, ever since he became prophet, has emphasized the needs for us do this, okay? So and that in that chapter, of course, Jesus is talking about how Elias, a type of him, was John the Baptist. And as they were come to the multitude, there came unto him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he throws himself into the fire and oft into the water. And he sought them to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then, Jesus is like, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with thee, and how long shall I suffer thee? And he brings that person. They bring the child. Okay? And so they're asking him, why? Why couldn't we cast it out? He said, well, it's because of your unbelief. For verily, verily, I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible for him. Howbeit, this kind cometh not out but by prayer and fasting. And there's a verse to clarify this in Doctrine and Covenants, section 84, verse, I think, In my name, they shall cast out devils. Of course, back before, I'm thinking lunatic probably means the poor guy had a mental illness. My best friend and I have had discussions, about exorcism and all that stuff. I said, look, if you're going to be doing that, I tell people, in order to perform the ordinances of God to drive away evil, you need to have the proper authority. And the problem is, the majority of people, they don't get that. Okay? And I think that should be good enough for me to stop right here, guys. And bless you. I'll try to devote a little bit more time tomorrow to this material. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to Reading on the Light. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part.
Today's a Momentum Monday recording. I just want you to know
that Jimi Hendrix saying, until next time, remember who you are.
It's going to be an exciting day.
Read the scriptures.
Today I'm going to be doing a podcast episode about death.
Preach the gospel.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Preach the gospel to
It's going to be controversial somewhat, but not reactive. So,
okay, everybody.
When they send it to you, you guys can enjoy this.
God bless you, folks, okay?
Also, tomorrow,
God bless you and take care.